I wanted to share with you just a really, as simple as I can do, watercolor painting. This is a painting, a landscape painting. I'm using Fabriano Artistico paper, and these are the Jackson's watercolors, so the professional grade, and I do have my paper at about a 40-degree angle just to allow the pigment to come down. I do have the pigments that I'm using, the colors on the screen. Just want to keep things really simple, don't want to get complicated in any way, shape or form. Just want to show you how quickly you can paint a successful landscape with your watercolors. So starting off, I do like to use the yellow ochre just in the sky area, and then just having some Payne's grey just to give a little bit of atmosphere in the sky, and then touching in a little bit of ultramarine, French ultramarine. You can use cobalt blue if you have it. All nice colours. You can just use any other blue, any other yellow, but I do like these colour combinations. So this is what I like to use for the sky. You can see using quite a large brush, a brush that holds plenty of water. Not using the Hake brush for the sky this time, just using this mop brush. And the reason why I'm not using the Hake brush for the sky, which I do like to do, I just want a few more different colours in the sky. I want a bit more. If you're using the Hake brush, it just covers more of the paper and it's harder to get more sort of colours and leave more white. So I just wanted to get a little bit more detail. It is a soft sky and I want the colours quite light, and I do like that with my skies. You can see my palette that I'm using. It's a butcher's tray, and then just getting a little mix of sap green and yellow ochre, mixing them together just to get the headland in the distance. And we're surrounded by hills by where I live, so this is it's nice to see when you go outside. It's just nice to have these surroundings. And I do want to add a building, a house to this scene. So that's what I'm doing in the left hand side. You can see just taking out some paint, just using a damp brush, just scraping away some of that paint. And you'll see that as I progress through the painting. Just want another layer of hills coming down in front of the other hills that I've done. And this is going to give a really nice dynamic to the painting. It's going to give distance. So it's really nice to do that in your paintings. So I just want to add a little bit more colour, a bit more darker tones into the background hills. Some of them, not all of them. And then I just want a few little shapes, little things going on in the distance. You can see just a few little details, little hints of details, because you get all these sort of paths and like serrations in the hills. So I want to capture just a little bit of that, just for interest as you look at this painting and look in the distance. You see just a few details. And then obviously I want depth, so some of the areas are light, some are a bit misty sort of looking. You can see that hill on the right hand side, and the way it plays off against the one in front of the distance. So you got this really nice contrast, and that really does set the hill in the distance. And so I really like doing that in watercolor. It's a really nice thing to do. So you want all your darker tones in the foreground or coming closer. And this is what I'm doing with the building now. Just took out that pigment so I could paint in the house, the cottage, whatever it may be. And so I'm just starting with the roof, give it some structure, and then I want a clean sort of surface so I can have the highlighted part, the fascia of the building. So I really hope you can see how easy it is to get the foundation to your painting. just a few details. There was only a few components in this painting, in this landscape, and like I say, I have made this scene up. I do make a lot of scenes up. I like the freedom that it gives. You don't have any sort of restrictions, or it really is your choice what to include in your painting. Because what I'd like to do is, when I add buildings into landscapes, I do like to just add a couple of trees behind the building, and it just gives that little, just helps the building to come forward, and it helps just gives some nice contrast and some nice definition to the building. You can see just adding the shadow side as well. That's something that really does make a difference to your painting. So that's just a warm mix of Payne's grey, a little bit of Pyro red, just a warm sort of almost purple colour. And that gives this nice shadow tone to the side of the building, which is really nice. So I'm just adding a little bit of water now into the scene. So this is going to be a lake, and I'm just using a little bit of a dry brush effect. You can see just moving quickly across the paper. And with this being a rough textured paper, you do get this nice texture with less paint and less water in the brush. You get these little sparkles on the water, and that's really nice to include. And then I just want to add a little bit of a banking in the foreground, and just pulling up a few little grass details like you would see in this sort of scene. So just using the liner brush for that. And now just adding a door just to the building. So I really do hope that you find this video useful if you're a beginner to watercolor, or even if you just struggle with finding inspiration or any sort of painting ideas. I do hope that this is useful for you. I hope it helps. If so, drop me a comment, leave me a feedback. I'd love to know your thoughts. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please do consider subscribing. I do have weekly content here on my channel, and I also have a live stream on Tuesdays. So all going well, that will go forward. So do subscribe to my channel, give us a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell, so then you'll be notified each time I do upload. You can see, just wanted to add a little yacht sailing in the lake. And this kind of reminds me of this scene of my hometown. There's a big lake by where I used to live, and I used to go for a walk around. Probably took about an hour or something to walk around the lake. So it's quite a large lake, and it was just nice to do that about once a month. Just enjoy the outdoors. I used to do that when I lived in my hometown where I was born, but it's not that close now. So I just remember all those fun memories as I used to walk around, and this reminds me of that in a way. So that's probably the inspiration for this painting. But I hope you do like it. I hope you do find this useful. If you're new to watercolor, why not give something like this a go? It really is quite simple. Don't get bogged down with detail or worry too much. Just enjoy the process, and that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.